My beloved child. Listen carefully, because what I am about to say is not a story, not imagination, and not coincidence. Something has already started moving in your life, silently, precisely, and with a speed you cannot yet see. You may feel normal right now, breathing, scrolling, listening, but beneath this ordinary moment, a chain of events has been activated. This is why this is an emergency. Not the kind that makes noise, but the kind that changes direction. One decision, one message, one unexpected encounter, and your life will no longer recognize the path it was walking on just moments ago. Pause for a second and feel this truth. There is a reason this message found you now and not yesterday, not tomorrow. Many people were meant to hear something today, but only a few are hearing this exact moment. That is not luck. That is alignment. Something shocking is approaching, not to destroy you, but to reveal what has been hidden for far too long. You have been standing at the edge of a truth that was delayed on purpose, because you were not ready before. Now, readiness has arrived quietly, without asking your permission. You may have felt restless lately for no clear reason. Nights feel longer. Thoughts return without invitation. Old memories knock again, but with new meaning. This is not confusion. This is preparation. When a powerful shift is about to enter your life, the soul begins to stretch before the mind understands why. Very soon, something will happen that will force you to look at yourself, your relationships, your choices, and your silence in a completely different light. And once you see it, you will not be able to unsee it. Understand this carefully. The shock is not the event itself. The shock is the realization that it was always moving toward you. A truth you ignored. A signal you dismissed. A door you walked past again and again. Life is about to stop you, gently but firmly, and say, "Look here." This moment will feel sudden, but it is deeply earned. Nothing that is coming is random. Every step, every delay, every unanswered prayer was shaping the timing of this exact point. So stay with me. Do not rush ahead. Do not assume you already know where this is going. The emergency is not fear. The emergency is awareness. Because once this revelation touches your life, you will be given a choice. Walk away and remain the same, or step forward and become someone you never imagined you could be. And what comes next will decide far more than you think. Before you realize it, life will interrupt you in the most unexpected way. Not with chaos, not with noise, but with a moment so quiet that it will feel unreal. One ordinary situation will suddenly carry extraordinary weight. A conversation that feels normal. A name that appears again. A situation you thought was finished returning with force. And in that instant, your heart will sense it first. Something is wrong, something is different, something cannot be ignored anymore. You have been protected until now, even when you thought you were being delayed. Certain truths were kept away from you because they would have broken you earlier. But now, strength has quietly grown inside you. The coming shock is not punishment. It is disclosure. A curtain lifting. You will realize that someone around you has been hiding something, or that a path you trusted was never meant to last. This awareness will hit deep, because it will explain so many unanswered questions from your past. Do not mistake the intensity of this moment for loss. What feels like a collapse is actually a correction. Life is rearranging itself to place you where you truly belong. The discomfort you will feel is the resistance of the old version of you. The version that settled. The version that waited. The version that stayed silent when the truth was whispering. That version cannot go where you are being taken next. Very soon, you will be forced to choose honesty over comfort. Growth over familiarity. Courage over routine. And this choice will arrive fast. There will be no long preparation, no second warning. The situation will demand an answer, and your response will define the next chapter of your life. This is why this is an emergency. Because delays will no longer protect you. Silence will no longer save you. Stay present now. Do not underestimate the power of what you are hearing. The shock that is coming will not end you. It will introduce you to yourself. And once that introduction happens, there is no return to ignorance. Something big is aligning behind the scenes, and when it steps into the light, your life will finally make sense in a way it never has before. There will be a moment when clarity hits you without warning. Not slowly, not gently, but all at once. You will suddenly connect the dots between moments that never made sense before. Things you brushed aside as coincidence will reveal their true pattern. And when this realization arrives, your breath may pause for a second, because deep down you will know this truth was following you for a very long time. Someone or something you trusted will appear different under this new light. Words spoken in the past will replay with sharper meaning. Actions you defended will now feel heavy. This is not betrayal meant to weaken you. This is exposure meant to free you. You were never meant to carry confusion forever. You were meant to see clearly, even if clarity feels uncomfortable at first. At this stage, many people choose denial. They pretend nothing changed. They scroll past their own awakening. But you are not here to look away. The shock you are experiencing is activating courage that was dormant inside you. A quiet strength is rising, asking you to stand still and face what is real. Once you do, fear will lose its grip. Because fear survives only in the dark, and the light is already here. This is the turning point most people miss. Not because it is hidden, but because it demands responsibility. You will realize that waiting longer will only repeat the same cycle. The same disappointment. The same questions. Life is offering you a break in the pattern. A rare pause where you can choose differently, speak differently, move differently. And this chance will not wait forever. What comes next will test your honesty with yourself. Not your image. Not your reputation. Your truth. If you stay aligned with what you now see, everything ahead will begin to shift in your favor. Slowly at first, then unmistakably. This is not the end of something. This is the moment everything finally begins to move in the right direction. Something inside you is already shifting, even if you have not named it yet. This is the phase where awareness becomes unavoidable. You are beginning to notice patterns instead of moments, intentions instead of excuses, and truth instead of comfort. What once felt normal now feels heavy. What once felt familiar now feels questioned. This is not overthinking. This is awakening. And awakening never arrives politely. It arrives when your inner strength finally outweighs your fear of change. Very soon, a situation will unfold that forces honesty into the open. Not through argument, not through drama, but through undeniable clarity. A silence will speak louder than words. An absence will reveal more than presence ever did. You will realize that something you were holding onto was never holding you back. It was holding you still. And life is done allowing you to remain paused while your purpose waits ahead. This moment will test your emotional discipline. Your mind may rush to justify the past, to soften the truth, to delay action. But your heart will already know the answer. You will feel a strange calm mixed with intensity. That calm is your intuition aligning with reality. The intensity is the old version of you resisting its final lesson. Growth always feels like loss until you understand what you are gaining. Here is what most people do not realize. When life reveals something shocking, it is not asking you to react. It is asking you to respond with maturity. This is where your future separates from your past. Not by luck. Not by timing. But by choice. The choice to stop explaining what no longer fits. The choice to stop investing where energy is not returned. The choice to finally respect your own awareness. Once this choice is made, even silently, everything begins to rearrange. Conversations change. Opportunities shift. Your inner voice becomes clearer. This is not magic. This is alignment. The emergency you were warned about is transforming into direction. And from this point forward, nothing in your life will feel accidental again. Now comes the phase where reality stops whispering and starts standing in front of you. There will be no confusion left about what must be done. The signs will become too clear to ignore. A situation will reach its natural limit. A truth will surface without effort. And you will understand that this moment was never meant to be delayed further. Life does not repeat lessons forever. When readiness meets timing, change becomes unavoidable. You may feel a strange mix of urgency and calm. Urgency because something must be addressed now. Calm because deep inside, you know you are finally capable. The fear that once controlled your reactions will no longer dominate you. Instead, awareness will guide you. This is where many people hesitate, but you are being asked to move forward, not dramatically, but decisively. One clear step will matter more than 1,000 thoughts. Pay attention to how your environment responds. People may react differently to you. Some will support you quietly. Some will distance themselves. This is natural. When you shift internally, the world adjusts externally. What no longer aligns will slowly fall away without force. What truly belongs will remain without effort. This is not loss. This is refinement. Your life is simplifying itself to make space for what is real. There will be a defining instant where you choose truth over tolerance. Not anger. Not blame. Just clarity. That decision, even if made silently, will echo forward. You will notice your energy returning. Your sleep changing. Your confidence stabilizing. These are signs that you are no longer resisting what you already know. Alignment always restores strength before it brings results. This is the moment just before transformation becomes visible. Do not underestimate it. What happens next will feel sudden to others, but you will know it was built slowly from within. The emergency phase is ending. Direction is taking over. And the path ahead is no longer uncertain. It is opening, step by step, because you are finally ready to walk it. This is where everything you sensed quietly becomes undeniable. A result will appear. Not loudly, not dramatically, but clearly enough that your doubts will have nowhere left to hide. You will see proof that your inner shift was real. A message will land differently. A response will change tone. An opportunity will arrive that feels earned, not forced. And in that moment, you will realize that life was not delaying you. It was preparing you. What will shock you most is not what changes outside, but what changes within. The need to chase approval will fade. The urge to explain yourself will dissolve. You will feel grounded in a way you never experienced before. This stability is new. It comes from alignment, not effort. You will recognize that the emergency was never about panic. It was about precision. Life needed your full attention before offering you its next move. Some doors will close quietly now, without pain. Others will open with surprising ease. You will notice that what once felt complicated now feels simple. Decisions become cleaner. Boundaries become natural. This is the reward of facing truth instead of avoiding it. When clarity leads, confusion cannot survive. And for the first time in a long while, you will feel ahead of your own life, not behind it. Do not expect everyone to understand this transformation. Some will only see the result, not the process. That is fine. This journey was never meant for validation. It was meant for alignment. The confidence growing inside you is not loud, but it is unshakable. You are no longer reacting to life. You are responding with awareness. And that changes everything that follows. What comes next will build fast. Faster than you expect. Because once alignment is achieved, momentum follows naturally. This is not the end of the shock. This is the beginning of revelation. And the next phase will reveal why this emergency had to happen now, and why missing it would have cost you far more than you realize. What happens next will feel almost unreal in its timing. Things you waited on for so long will begin to move without resistance. Not all at once, but with a steady certainty that tells you this is no longer coincidence. You will sense that life has shifted into cooperation mode. Effort will still be required, but struggle will not dominate. This is how you know the emergency served its purpose. You will look back and understand why certain paths were blocked. Why certain people drifted away. Why certain answers never came when you begged for them. Those delays were not rejection. They were redirection. Now, the clarity you gained will protect you from repeating the same cycles. You will recognize signals earlier. You will trust your instincts faster. And this awareness will quietly save you from future pain. This phase brings responsibility. When life aligns with you, it expects integrity in return. You will be tested not by chaos, but by opportunity. By ease. by moments where cutting corners would be tempting. But you will choose differently now. Because you know what it cost to arrive here. You will protect your peace, your time, and your truth without apology. The most powerful change will be invisible to others. You will no longer feel lost inside your own life. Even uncertainty will feel lighter, because direction exists. You will wake up knowing you are moving forward, even if the full picture is still unfolding. That confidence does not come from answers. It comes from alignment with yourself. Remember this moment. Not as fear, but as awakening. The emergency was never meant to scare you. It was meant to wake you up before the right door appeared. And now that you are awake, aware, and grounded, what enters your life next will stay, grow, and shape a future that finally feels like it belongs to you. Now you will notice something subtle but powerful. The noise around you will no longer control your direction. Opinions, expectations, and pressure that once influenced your choices will lose their grip. You will start responding from a deeper place, not urgency, not fear, but certainty. This is the quiet authority that arrives when a person understands themselves fully. And once it arrives, it does not leave. You will begin attracting situations that reflect this inner shift. Conversations will become more honest. Opportunities will feel more aligned. Even challenges will arrive with clarity instead of confusion. This is not because life became easier. It is because you became clearer. When clarity leads, even obstacles know their place. They refine instead of derail. There will be moments when you realize how close you came to missing this turning point. A small delay. A distraction. A decision to ignore your intuition. And yet, you are here. That realization will humble you. It will deepen your gratitude. Not for perfection, but for awareness. Because awareness changes outcomes long before actions do. From this stage onward, your growth will no longer be dramatic. It will be consistent. Quiet. Powerful. You will build rather than chase. You will choose rather than react. The urgency that once felt overwhelming will now feel focused. Direction has replaced confusion. Purpose has replaced pressure. This is the lasting impact of the emergency you were warned about. Not fear. Not loss. But awakening. You are no longer waiting for life to happen to you. You are participating in it with awareness and strength. And from here, everything you create will carry the signature of truth, clarity, and alignment. What unfolds now will feel steady, but its impact will be deep and lasting. You will no longer rush toward outcomes. You will move with intention. Every step will feel chosen, not forced. This is the calm power that comes after transformation. The kind that does not seek attention, yet changes everything it touches. People will sense it in you before you speak a word. You will start noticing how life responds faster to your decisions. Not because you demand results, but because you are finally aligned with what you ask for. Your energy will feel consistent. Your focus sharper. The inner conflict that once drained you will dissolve, replaced by clarity. This is the state where growth becomes natural instead of exhausting. There will be moments when the past tries to pull you back. Old habits. Old doubts. Old fears. But they will no longer have authority over you. You will acknowledge them without surrendering to them. This is maturity. Not the absence of struggle, but the mastery of response. And that mastery will protect everything you are building now. The path ahead will not be perfect, but it will be honest. You will face challenges with perspective instead of panic. With patience instead of pressure. Each experience will add strength instead of confusion. This is how you know you are no longer surviving your life. You are shaping it. This is the quiet conclusion of the emergency and the powerful beginning of stability. What once felt shocking has now become wisdom. What once felt urgent has now become direction. And as you continue forward, you will realize that this moment was not the peak. It was the foundation.